Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition and a special edition from Africa Today. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held talks with the Qatari Prince Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani in Doha on Wednesday. After an official reception was held where the two national anthems were displayed, Presidential spokesperson Ambassador Bassem Radi said that President Sisi expressed appreciation for the invitation from the Gulf countries' emir. Bassem Radi said the meeting witnessed extensive talks between the two sides with the aim of expanding bilateral cooperation on all stages in political, security, economic and trade domains. The two leaders discussed coordination over various regional and investments, international issues and mutual concern at a critical timing that draws the need for combining the efforts to protect the Arab national security. For his part, the Qatari Emir praised the friendly relations binding the two countries and expressed keenness on boosting joint cooperation in different fields. Bin Hamad also reiterated that Qatar is looking forward to increasing investments in the Egyptian market during the coming period. This as the President's first official visit to Qatar is lasting for 2 days. Meanwhile, the President also met with the representatives of the Qatari Businessmen League at his residency in Doha. To shed more light on that, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by our dear guest, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Bayoumi, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon. How are you?
How are you, sir? Ambassador Bayoumi, how do you see the timing of the current visit to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to Qatar?
I think it is one step in a long journey of consultation between Arab leaders.
Yes.
It started before the Jeddah conference between the 9 Arab leaders and the President of the United States, which I consider a successful story of the Arab diplomacy, where we confronted or fronted the U.S. President with an Arab, quite coordinated position, saying that you are mentioning to us the wrong enemy. Our enemy is well known, who is occupying our territory, who is having already 300 weapons of nuclear weapons.
Yes.
And Iran is not necessarily our enemy, and Iran appreciated this Arab position. Then we came to the meeting in Al Alamein with 5 leaders. Then we received the Emir of Qatar in Cairo. Then now our president is going to Qatar.
Yes.
Qatar is the smallest country in the Arab world, but I am always asking to give Qatar an eminent role in order to be a positive member of the Arab fold.
Yes.
And this is what we are doing, really. Qatar has some good relations. It has the experience of investment here and there. The good news that although we have some time of sort of not very good relations, but Qatar continues to invest in Egypt, and its banking organization is working in Egypt. Qatar is building the biggest hotel in Egypt on the River Nile. So let us keep this and start to build on the positive elements of the relation. And I think this will continue with other Arab countries in order to see what on the level, on the regional circle, and the bilateral one also.
Yes, Mr. Ambassador, also today President Sisi met at his residency with the representatives of the Qatari Businessmen League. How do you see the importance of that meeting from your point of view?
This is one very important goal of the visit, that we want to attract more investors in Egypt, especially the Arabs, because we want to attract Egyptians living abroad, Arabs and international investors. And this, of course, draw a sort of homework on both sides. We have a lot to do in order to make foreign investors happy coming to Egypt. And we are asking also to change this formula that the Arabs are investing abroad more than 20 times what they are investing in their own countries.
Yes.
Martin Bangman, the Minister of Economy of Germany, drew our attention that even Egyptians abroad are investing $140 billion. This means that we have a lot to do in order to make our home much more attractive to investors. And this is really a big challenge. We have to deal with it without any sensitivity about how we should change many of our bureaucratic attitude, our banking system, and many other problems.
Yes, also during the meeting, the President said that he is pushing forward the economic development process between both nations in the coming period. How that could be achieved, Mr. Ambassador, from your point of view?
By making our land much more attractive. I always say, and some TV channels repeat what I said.
Yes.
We are encouraging investment, but can you tell me the name of any movie or any TV series which presents an investor as a good man? All the investors in our cinema are thieves, are killing people, and so on.
Yes.
Our bureaucracy is killing, and now we have, thank God, the GAFI, the General Authority for Investment, but it's not enough. We want the bureaucracy to make sure that they are doing the work in few hours, not days even. And the banking system is a very good one, by the way, but it still have to accept the courage to take decisions without being in a sort of fear of taking the right decision because of the bureaucracy is killing the good decisions. I can give you hundreds of examples about how the bureaucracy is pushing us to take the wrong decisions. And the environment, the whole environment of the people. If you see that the most important columnist in our most important newspaper is calling that the investors in Egypt are drinking our blood. This is not the way an investor would like to see. On the other side also, we want the Arab investor to change the attitude because 70% of what the Arabs are investing in their country is going to services such as tourism, hotels, banking, and so on. But by 80%, 9% only is going to industry, and 2% is going to agriculture. While we need much more agriculture, we need much more investment in the field of industry. So all these things must be changed, and of course it is good homework for all the individual Arab states and for the Arab League also to change this attitude.
Indeed. Also, sir, the visit is regulating the economic ties between both Cairo and Doha. Many commercial agreements as well as many memoranda of understanding, the most important of which are the agreement regulating the employment of the Egyptian workers, the agreement on trade exchange, economic and technical cooperation. Many agreements and memoranda of understanding are taking place. So can you shed more light on that?
Here, this is something I like recently, that of course we have our tools as diplomats. We have at the beginning the tools of the ambassadors, the embassies, then the ministerial level, but we lack for a long time the level of the presidency. And since President Sisi came to be the president, he covered the whole world. He went to the Far East up till Tokyo twice in 1 month. He went to Paris, he went to New York, he went deep in the African continent. I admire personally, he went to a country, I was non-resident ambassador in that country because it was difficult to live there. He went there with Arab constructors.
Yeah.
He built an embassy. I am so proud of this. Now we have full representation in the African continent, and Africa is voting for us automatically in any case or in any problem we are facing on the international and the regional level.
Yeah.
So this is a very active diplomacy. We appreciate it, and we hope that this, of course, it is reflecting on our economic relations.
Yeah.
This will be in the meaning of much more trade, much more investment. I want also to refer to the more than 6 million Egyptians are working in the Gulf states. Thousands are working in Qatar in a very eminent positions. So this is a good practice of the Arab relations, and I hope it will continue and even much better.
Yeah. Sir, to what extent does this visit by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to Qatar is affecting the unification of divisions towards international files of common interest like the situation in the Middle East, in Libya, in Lebanon, the Palestinian cause? To what extent we are having here a common ground regarding these very important files in the Arab region in particular?
Of course, we have two very important files in a visit like that. The regional one and the international.
Indeed.
The regional, as you rightly said, we are not happy with what is happening in Syria, in Lebanon, even in North Iraq, in Libya, in Sudan, Somalia, Yemen. And we have to build a sort of an Arab position in order to deal with all these problems. And of course, we want Qatar to play a positive role, whether in Libya, where we think that they are not doing the right choice.
Yeah.
Also in Gaza, we are helping the Palestinians, and nobody helped Palestine like Egyptians.
Indeed.
No family in Egypt is not having a victim of the wars for the sake of Palestine.
Indeed.
So we want to coordinate this special 2 points, Gaza and Libya, with Qatar in order to have a sort of unified or at least coordinated position to tackle all these problems.
Yes. The visit by President Sisi to Qatar is coming ahead of the upcoming General Assembly, UN General Assembly in New York, as well as the upcoming meeting of the Arab League, which is supposed to be taking place in Algeria as well. So how do you see the importance of that, Mr. Ambassador?
On the international level, we are coordinating our position concerning the two main problems of the world now. The corona epidemic, whether it is its impact as a disease, and Egypt has a good experience there, and its impact on our economic life. Many tourist places were shut down. Many companies, airways companies, were shut down or severely affected. And also the other problem is the war in Ukraine. It is affected in two ways. One is the lack of more and more food supplies, and we are trying to solve this problem. The other problem is the lack of energy, because Russia is the main supplier of energy to Western Europe. And here Egypt and Qatar and the Gulf states and Algeria also can help in solving part of this situation, because Russia is the largest supplier of energy to Europe. So all these things we should coordinate. Also, we are preparing for the coming conference in coming November in Sharm el-Sheikh.
COP27.
COP27. All these international subjects, I think it must be tackled by the two leaders, and certainly they are trying to build a position concerning all these subjects.
Indeed. Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, always a pleasure to listen to your very precious input, sir. Thank you very much for being with us. Our dear viewers, with that we come to the end of this edition of Mahisi Rabia signing off. Many thanks for watching.